Do I have to weigh myself every single day? Short answer, yes. Um, the reason we do this too, guys. So I noticed this is tough for a lot of you, because we live and die by the scale. So if the scale doesn't say what we're doing, walking in the humidity, yeah, it's humid out here. It rains a lot. It's cloudy right now. It's probably gonna rain later. But one thing that's good about here that I noticed, it could be cloudy like this and rain, and then like afternoon, it's actually sunny. So it's kind of cool. Like I can deal with that. I think Nebraska, it's tougher in Nebraska because it's like you'll get like a whole week of just cloudy weather, and it really puts you in a funk. So I think that's one thing I really didn't like about the weather over there. So here, yeah, it rains a lot. There's cloudy days, but typically the sun comes out at least once a day. So I'm a big sun guy. I need the sun. We all need it. But anyways, back to what I was saying. So a lot of times, a lot of you guys are, living and dying off the scale. And I get it, it's frustrating. I still wake up sometimes and the scale doesn't read what I want, and I'm frustrated. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think that'll ever go away, but we do the scale every single day for two reasons. First and foremost, data collection. Everything we do in this program is data based. We're not throwing spaghetti at the wall and trying to see what sticks. We're not doing some crazy protocol and you guys should be happy about that because nobody wants, like, let's say you take your car to a mechanic and they're like, yeah, we think it's this, but we're not sure, so we're just gonna try this and this and this, and then all of a sudden, or even worse, like a dentist or something, something that's gonna physically harm you. Hey, we think you got a cavity here, but we're not sure, so we might just pull this tooth and then pull the, like, nobody wants that. Like, it needs to be measurable. It needs to be something that you're for sure on. Nobody's gonna get on a flight that you want to go to San Diego, and the pilot gets on the intercom's like, yeah, so we think we're gonna hit the San Diego around this time, but we there's a good possibility we could end up in, I don't know, Washington, right? You'd be like, what the hell? Like, I'm not getting on this flight, right? Hey, what's up, Angelo? Nice to see you, buddy. So the fact that first and foremost, this program is database should give you some clarity on like what you need for your goals, because your goals got to be measurable. Goals have to be measurable. Everybody wants this. Everybody talks about this, and you can write it on a piece of paper if you want. But if you don't have measurable goals, like, hey, how am I getting from point A to point B? Like, reverse engineering it and figuring it out. Like, hey, if I lose a half a pound per week by this time, I should be this, right? And and even that doesn't always work, right? Because especially with the body, it's just there's so much that goes into your body, which is why we try to regulate everything and keep everything streamlined, right? Because sleep, stress, extra carbohydrates, extra sodium, not being active, all this stuff can have effect on your weight loss journey, right? So like there might be weeks you don't lose anything and it's just your body adjusting, okay? But at the end of the day, you need measurable progress. You need measurable data to be able to know how to go from point A to point B, how to go from Nebraska to San Diego without landing up in some place that you didn't want to go, right? So that's first and foremost data collection. You need to do that every day at the same time, okay? Don't be jumping on the scale on Monday in the morning, Tuesday mid afternoon, Wednesday evening. Like that's not going to be accurate data. It has to be same, almost the exact same conditions every single time, if possible, right? Second is mindset, right? When you jump on that scale every morning, you're first of all, you're kind of understanding what your body does with certain elements, right? Maybe you drank more water the night before. Maybe you had some carbohydrates. Maybe you had some sodium. Now you're weighing heavier. So this is going to help you overcome the fact you're like, man, I gained 2 pounds overnight. No, you didn't. You might have gained 2 pounds of water overnight, but you didn't gain 2 pounds of fat overnight, right? It's almost impossible. So So it helps with that, just knowing like, yeah, I did whatever. I went out to eat. Now I weigh more. Like you're almost expecting it once you start seeing the patterns. This is all pattern recognition, right? We can see what's going to happen, right? And maybe we'll make better choices based off those patterns. Hey, maybe I don't need that, extra bowl of spaghetti because even though it fits within my macros, I know it's going to make me weigh more and I don't want to see that number, right? So you make better decisions. And also, it's mindset as far as like just being able to be okay with what you see on that scale every single day because so many of us are live and die off that scale that now we we base our whole day, our whole mood, our whole everything off this scale weight. But the more that you start seeing that scale every morning and the more it maybe isn't what you want to see, the more, the better you are going to be. Okay, the better mindset you're going to have around it. That's where I talk about stoicism and not having a reaction to every single little thing, right? And this is big, this is huge for you, so it's not a little thing. But if you can not have a reaction to your weight every morning and just kind of go, okay, now I need to follow my plan for the day, because by that point you should already have your plan laid out, food ready to go, um, food inputted, exercise ready to go. You already know what you're gonna do, and you just follow that plan, right? The next day, two, whatever, you're gonna see the number you want to see. I guarantee it. But you gotta compound that interest. Okay, we talk a lot about compounding interest. If you haven't read it, read The Compound Effect. I think it's Dan Hardy. Might be wrong about that, but The Compound Effect, great book, great listen, great read. It just talks about compounding interest every single day. You um, you do the small little things that compound on top of each other to get those big wins. Okay, you're not dropping 20 pounds overnight, but if you compound your interest, you can drop 20 pounds in 6 weeks, in 8 weeks, in 12 weeks, whatever. Like we got people doing it all kinds of crazy ways. Okay. And for those of you that came in the program, well, first of all, if you're in this program and you're just starting, you're like, man, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. Like, no shit. Like, did you think we had some kind of secret magic trick for you or something like that? Like, I think I get that a lot, and I'm not trying to make fun of anybody or anything like that, but you get a lot of people that come into the program and say, hey, Matt, this wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Like, what do you think it was going to be? Did you think I had some secret magic trick for you? Like, if I did, I'd be a lot more rich and famous than I am, right? Not that I'm rich and famous at all, but so I think people, when they first come in, they're like, wow, this is really basic. And it's like, yeah, you haven't been doing the basics by yourself, and that's why you're in this position. That's why you're in this group, right? That's why you're in this program, okay? And so people come in and they see that and they're like, oh, it's what I thought it was gonna be. I don't want to do it anymore. Something crazy. I'm like, that's cool. Like I got plenty of people to help. I'm not hurting. Uh, so like, if you come in and you think that way, first of all, it's a really bad mindset because you aren't gonna be able to figure this out if you're already thinking like that. Second of all, um, you like if you I don't know. It just shows the type of person that you are, because you're always gonna be stuck with this problem, right? We're giving you the solution to the problem. We never say it's gonna be easy. We never say, you're gonna whatever. Like it's gonna be hard work. It's gonna be diligent work. I think that's the part that gets people the most is the diligency that goes into this, okay? But nobody hits massive, huge, awesome goals by not being diligent and not being on top of their shit, right? And that's what people think is that they're going to be able to. That's why all these diets are so keto, cut carbs, all this crap that's like it's a quick fix. It seems easy enough. Oh, if I can willpower my way into just their willpower is bullshit. There's another book called Willpower Doesn't Work or something like that. I forgot the author, but basically just saying like you can't willpower your way into your goals. You gotta set up your routine, set up your habits. You gotta change as a person. It's why people that hit the lottery, 90% of people that hit the lottery end up going broke after like 2 years. because they never changed as a person. They just all of a sudden got all this money, right? They don't know anything about financial, education. They don't know how to leverage their time to be able to do the things they want. They just go spend all the money because they're not changed as a person. Their bank account just changed. And it's just like people that drop 50 pounds in like 2 or 3 months, right? The wrong way. They didn't change as a person. They just all of a sudden dropped weight. But like this never got changed, right? And when this doesn't get changed, the body's not going to follow that poor mindset. So those are the two reasons you want to jump on the scale every morning. Everything we do has a rhyme and a rhythm to it. If you don't think this shit works, like look around because people are getting results. So that's what's crazy to me too. Is like people come to me and they're like, "Yeah, I see your stuff works. Like I see all these transformations, da da da." And then they're the same people that's like, "Whoa, this is what I thought it was going to be." And it's like, well, you see everybody else doing it, so where's the problem lying at here, right? It's not in the program. It's in your willpower, not willpower even. It's in your mindset where you think that the program should be. So, anyways, um, so yeah, that's it for today. Let me know if you got any questions on that. Don says it's whatever you want to put into it. Follow the coach's lead. Yes, ma'am, and you do a great job of that, Don. People with that type of mindset, that's like, you know, it might not be the most complicated thing. It's like crazy to me that it's like, well, this seems too simple to work, right? But the people that see that and they go, well, it works, you just got to do it. And that's what I have a coach for. They understand the value of just having that coach. Like, you can know everything about nutrition, exercise in the world, but if you don't do it, like, it doesn't work, right? I'm a prime example of that. I went to gym for 7, 8 years. Sometimes I was in great shape, sometimes I was fat. Straight up, just being real. It wasn't until I got my coach, I'm like, okay, got somebody in my corner now. They're not going to let me fail. I'm not going to let myself fail anymore because I got the accountability that I need. And that's just a whole game changer. And people just don't realize it. It's like, can everybody track their food? Of course. Can everybody exercise 4 or 5 times per week? Of course. But are you doing it? Where are you doing it before the program? And if you get hung up in the first 2 weeks, like, oh, this is so much, this is too much, like that separates the difference between the successful and the unsuccessful. The people that see the work and quit right away. And then there's people that see the work like, shit, this is going to be hard. I got to ask a lot of questions. I got to do what I got to do to be successful, right? Because ultimately it comes up to you. Like, I'm nothing special, guys. I've got a lot of transformations in my 10 years plus doing this, and people think it's because of me. And I'll be the first one to tell you it's never because of me. It's because that person was ready for the change and they wanted it more than they wanted anything else. I just led them to the water, but they drank it, right? I can't make you drink water. Can't make you drink that stuff, right? So that's really what it comes down to. So um, you gotta be ready, and maybe you weren't ready when you came in, and you thought you were, but you got to make yourself ready. If you committed to something, you got to keep that promise to yourself, to your coaches, okay? And I think that's another big thing. I might have to do another whole topic on this. Is just keeping the promises to yourself, keeping that commitment, because so many people think they're ready to get started, and then they don't have that true commitment. They don't keep the promises to themselves. When you lose integrity with yourself, you lose integrity with everybody. Okay? Because if you can't keep a promise to yourself, why would you keep a promise to somebody else? Right? And you can sit there and say, oh, well, I would for somebody else. I just don't for myself. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So, all right, guys, have a great week. Um, Stay motivated, loving the group, loving everybody's success. If you need any help, please reach out. Talk to the coach, talk to me. We're here for you 100%. Think long term, right? We're always thinking long term. In a year from now, where do I want to be? I'm already thinking in the next 6 months. Like, I just basically started my whole life over. Where do I want to be in 6 months from now? Where do I want to be in a year from now? What other things do I want to do with my life? So, love you guys. Have a great one. We'll see you later.